Hello, Paper and Glam family. Happy Glam Thursday, and welcome back to our memory keeping series. So today I wanted to share with you my daily planning practice, and I hope that it serves you as you start your morning and you are looking to plan a holistic day. And by that, I mean a day that takes into account your work life, your home life, your goals, and then also the things that, make your life your own, the things that you love, your Bible study practice, your reading life, the things you want to do for seasonal living. Maybe you want to make a seasonal recipe. Maybe you want to do some memory keeping. So I have a planner in the shop. It is called the Glam Planner Daily that walks you through that practice of planning holistically every morning. So that is what we are going to be up to today in this installment of our memory keeping series. If you are new, I'm Lisa Marie. I'm so excited that you're here. We talk about planning and memory keeping in all different ways to do that in a holistic fashion. So I have a shop at shop.paperandglam.com where you can get all of the products in my videos. And then also I have a membership where we do all lifestyle things together. So we live seasonally together. That's where I have all my home tours and my vlogs. We have a seasonal living masterclass. We read a book a month together, sometimes two in the case of this month. And then we also study the Word of God together. So that is all available, paperandglam.com. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you as far as like a little bit of a system update, or I'm kind of taking the next step in the plan, I should say, is I am moving my completed layouts into this 6x8 binder. So I showed you this option in the debut planner video for the Glam Planner Memories. And I showed you how one option is to use a 6x8 scrapbook. So I bought this from Ali Edwards. I actually got it with the intention of using it as a reading journal and kind of making like a reading scrapbook. So it says stories, and this is like a little bit busier than like my typical aesthetic. I really like it, but I think ultimately I want to get just like a plain black one from Heidi Swapp, and it just says stories on it. So Ali Edwards and Heidi Swapp have the same production facility, so their binders are pretty much the same. Their inserts are the same. They also have dividers. So like Heidi Swapp has dividers that are really similar to this if you like these dividers, but I also thought it kind of matched well. So I'm going to be moving my completed layout into this binder so that I can fit more things, because I want to include more ephemera. I want to be able to cut out my daily pages and add them. So I'm just going to have, going forward, I'm just going to have the clean layouts in here, just the pages that are empty and have not been filled in yet, or the pages that are ongoing. So like this one will be ongoing through the whole year. And if you haven't seen this insert, we did a little video on this also in that planner and journal favorites video. I still need to fill this guy out and these pages. So now I'm just going to be moving my dividers and then all my completed layouts into this binder. Okay, so now I have all my completed layouts in this book, and I haven't started doing my memory keeping for April, but when I do, and this is, say this is a completed spread, these daily pages will just sit right in the middle. So I just kind of have a record of life, right? I really want this at the end of the year to be like a yearbook and a playbook, right? A playbook meaning, playbook in the sense of the sports term, and then like playbook in the sense of just a place where I was creative and I recorded my life and just the bricks that I laid towards becoming the woman God created me to be, to living the life that I envision. So I'm just going to cut this guy out and then 6-hole punch it. So this is the daily planning worksheet that I like to fill out every day. I do it with a 0.38 Muji pen, and you'll see that it is sized half letter. So it is 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I like that because I can just like make myself little notes in the margins and then just cut it out to put it in my planner. So my version is a little bit different than the shop version. So I'm just going to talk through the different versions. So the shop version has a place to write your date in. I like to just write my own date. So if you want to do this, you can easily just drop the file into Canva, put a white square over the title, and then just type your title. So you can put like, April 8th. And then let's just kind of walk through the way that I like to plan my day. And the goal of this worksheet or this planner insert is that I am moving every area of my life forward every day. So I'm not just like managing the existing things, but I'm also prioritizing the areas of life and my goals and the things that just are important to me to have in every day. So the first square is a daily truth. I think it is so important to be addicted to truth in a world that is just nothing but lies all day, right? And we need to anchor ourselves in the truth. So I like to either read the Bible or read my devotional every morning and just like write a little note of something that stood out to me, something that's encouraging. So this year, my devotional is Rhythms of Faith, and this was gifted to me by the sweet Julianne, and it's a weekly devotional, but it also has just like a lot of seasonal readings. So yeah, I just read a little bit every morning, some more than others. I highlight anything that stood out in the monthly color. So for yesterday, it says the whole Christian life is lived under the life-giving banner of the resurrection. So this is a liturgical devotional, so it follows the church year, which you guys know I'm all about. I do have liturgical reading plans in the shop, the God and Glam reading plan, if you do want to read the Bible seasonally or liturgically, as the church calls it. So that is the first box, just the daily truth. I am one of those people that I want a gold star. I want a little checkbox for like every part of my day. Something about that just feels really gratifying. And we know checking boxes does release endorphins. So I just like to write a little quote here and then just check off that I read my devotional. So in my morning routine, I like to do 3 things every morning, something for my mind, something for my spirit, and something for my body. So for my mind, I like to read my devotional or the word. I like to journal and I like to walk. So this is just whatever workout I do, kind of whatever journaling moment I have, and then something for just to renew my mind. And you could usually swap these, like your journal could be for your mind and something else for your spirit, but that's just how I think about it. And so my journal, I showed this, I think it was 2 videos ago, how I'm using the Hobonichi journal this year. And it's just a chronological journal and I really like it. So if you missed that 2 videos ago, I did my planner and journal favorites and I walk through how I'm using this. So that is the second part of my morning routine. So that is how this section is designed. I think before we start work for the day, it's always important to make sure that we're resourced and that we're taking time to do the self-care that's going to allow us to pour out into our day. So just try to do something for your mind, your body, and your spirit every morning. And then we have what I'm calling the Glam 3, or what you might know as the top 3. So if nothing else happens today, what are the 3 things that I need to do for this to be like a really, a successful day? And then we'll start here at the top. So every day I want to make sure that I'm doing something to move my goals forward. So I call this goal aligned action, and we talk about this every month in our monthly growth ceremony. Is like, what am I doing to move the needle in my life, right? Like not just managing what I already have going on, but what is going to move me forward in the next season. So right now my number one goal is just to grow my business. So this box is usually around growing paper and glam. So yesterday I gave this insert just a little refresh. It looks really similar, but there was just like a couple little things I wanted to change and update. So I did that. That was my goal aligned action. And today I am filming the YouTube video for this goal aligned action. And then the to-do list, it has like the cutest little glam clipboard. If I do say so myself, these are just like little things that I want to get done throughout the day. So I need to walk down and get the mail, wash some laundries, go pick up my raw milk, reset my kitchen because it was Easter the day before and I didn't have a chance to do all my meal prep and reset the kitchen. And then I needed to email a horizontal planner to Tracy, who pre-ordered it. So the horizontal planner is coming soon to the shop. I think we talked about that in the last video. And then on the bottom, it's important to me that every day I am in the Word of God, I am doing something for my seasonal life, and then I am doing something for my literary life. So you will see in the shop version, this is a little different. Mine's like pretty specific because, we have the God and Glam pillar of the membership, we have the seasonal living pillar of the membership, and then we have the book club pillar of the membership. So I always want to make sure that I'm moving those forward. And just that, I am doing these things because this is what we as women of Paper and Glam think are important, right? We all want to be women of the Word. We want to live the way that God intended us to live, which is seasonally, and then we want to have a beautiful literary life as well. So the shop version says Bible study, seasonal living, and literary life, and those are the only differences. So for God and Glam yesterday, I wanted to start getting my notes together for the live stream on Wednesday. So I was just going through the screw tape letters, doing the notes for a couple of the letters a day. So I just don't have a ton to do on live stream day. And then I wanted to start getting a vlog together. I didn't end up doing that because I ended up, we needed to do some research for booking a trip to LA this month. And so I ended up doing that instead, and that kind of took that window of time. So that's okay. We'll just reverse those. And then I wanted to read for book club. So I make sure I'm reading a little bit every day. So right now we're reading We Love You, Bunny. And I don't want to fall behind, especially this is a chunker. It's like 500 pages. So I just divide like how many pages a day I need to read to make sure that I'm finishing on time and I'm not having to completely cram and read like a bunch of pages in one day or like over the weekend, which sometimes still happens. And then on the bottom, I just wrote myself little notes, like I need to research Sunday's dry skin and what can be done for it. I've tried a bunch of different things, but nothing seems to be helping. And then I wanted to make some updates to the hourly Glam planner, which is exactly like the Glam Memories planner. It just has hours. So it's like hourly instead of vertical. So I think I don't know, I just felt like switching into the hourly, which I'm always like, I love the ring bound system because I can always like switch back and forth. I can add things and I'm not bound to like any one like planner insert, any one system. I have like lots of options across all the Paper and Glam offerings. So we're going to talk more about that in a second as well. So that is how I plan my day and just make sure that I am, again, just like moving forward in a balanced fashion. And then, I don't know, I always fill it out on top of this spiral binder just because it's easier and kind of makes me feel like I'm doing some crafty project or something. So yeah, and then this is just today. So I just kind of like fill it out as I go. I'm filming this video right now. This morning I read this beautiful quote that said, "Eastertide forms us by calling us to live out the resurrection life gifted to us by the risen Lord." I thought that was so beautiful. And I love just having a seasonal quote on these seasonal pages. And if you're new to Paper and Glam, so this is just the April version. So just like everything, there's 12 monthly versions. So when you purchase the planner, there are versions for each month. And what I love about this is I don't always need like a full worksheet because, maybe it's the weekend, maybe I'm traveling, maybe I just have one big thing that I need to do that day and I don't want to focus on anything else. And so when I'm in a daily planner, I often feel like I'm wasting paper or being type awesome. I always want to like fill out every page and I don't always need it. So I love that I can just print what I need and just use what I need. So that is how I use this Glam Planner daily insert. And now I want to show you how it fits into the system as a whole. Okay, so this guy will just live right in here. And I don't know, I just think that's so fun to see both the weekly layout and then just each of the days. So the next thing I want to do and why I wanted to start moving into a larger binder for completed layouts is it is the start of a new month, of course. So I want to move my completed seasonal living list, excuse me, out of this binder and move them just as artifacts into this this scrapbooking binder. Okay, so you'll see March will kind of open with the seasonal living list. Ultimately, on this page, I want to glue scrapbook paper. I want to make Paper and Glam scrapbook paper so it matches paper that you can use, in your journals, in your planner, just your junk journal, whatever you would like. So that's one of the next things I want to do as soon as it's financially aligned. Every membership, every shop purchase, it just, the more we have, the more I get to make cool stuff and send things to production. So that's like one of my top priorities, is to make 12 by 12 paper and glam scrapbook paper that you can cut down to whatever size you want or need, be that half letter, be it this A5 wide size, be it for trad scrapbooking, and it would just be like the monthly patterns, which would all just be so fun and cohesive. Okay, so we have all of the completed seasonal living lists in here now, and you can see it's getting kind of thick here, which is great. I, at the end of the year, want like a just beautiful, thick record of my year. And now we have the April seasonal living list locked and loaded, ready to go right here, just like front and center. I do like having kind of the one that's active in a second binder along with the future months, so that, you know, I'm just looking at kind of the current right in my face. All right, the next thing I want to do is I want to start just adding more ephemera, more things that were special from the week that I think will make my planner just like more interactive and just more fun to flip through as just like a full record of the year. So the next thing I want to 6-hole punch and put in is this Easter card I got from also from the Sweet Julianne, and I just put Post-its over the address because, like, look how pretty this church is. It's gorgeous, and I just thought it matched perfectly with the April collection, which I'm sure was by design, and it just says Happy Easter, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live, John 11:25. And then this card was just so beautiful. It says, in the waiting, the searching, the healing, the hurting, there was Jesus. So I just want to 6-hole punch both of these and just put them right in my planner and just be able to collect just everything that might otherwise, you know, we might not know what to do with it. So for my Christmas cards and my birthday cards, I like to make junk journals, and there is a video on that up. I do need to do a tutorial, which I have not forgotten about, because there's so many usually like birthday cards and Christmas cards, which is so sweet. You know, that would be like a little bit too bulky, but for just like the kind of cards that come in here and there, like I'm sure most of us don't receive too many Easter cards or too many Thanksgiving cards, but like Sweet Julianne sends a card for every holiday, which I just love. You'll meet Julianne in the clubhouse. So yeah, I'm just gonna 6-hole punch this and put it in. Okay, that is a wrap for just kind of continuing to advance this system. And I hope you guys are catching a vision for just how the whole completed yearbook will look, with just your weekly memories, your daily memories, your seasonal living. And in the next video, we're going to start adding some pictures. So we're going to be using these sheets, and I cannot wait to show you my method. I'm calling it 30-minute glam memory templates for getting a month worth of pictures scrapbooked and into the real world for just 30 minutes a month, $20 a month. I just figured, what's an amount of money that most of us could spare every month, and then what is an amount of time that most of us can spare every month. And I figured, like, everyone's probably got an extra 30 minutes and an extra $20. So that's the heart behind the next video. So stay tuned for that. And, you know, together we are just making this really cohesive, complete record of our years, both our plans, our pictures, cards, like everything ideally will be together in one beautiful book and one beautiful record that at the end of the year you get to slide on your shelf, you have it archived, you get to just label this 2026, and that's a wrap. Because there's been a lot of, I wouldn't say there are like ongoing issues, but like one kind of issue I always had is like how to archive my planners, right? I don't want them to just be like shoved in a drawer and like I never look at them again, because I put so much into my planners, and I want just somewhere to display the record of my life. So this is kind of the system that I've come up with, so that I have this archival record of my year and just all the different like pieces of media that we have to kind of record what that year looked like. So one little hot take I did want to show you guys just to close up here is that if you do want the feeling of like a spiral binder, what I plan to do is just print a bunch of these sheets, maybe even leave the year off. So that way, if I don't use them one year, I can just come back and use them the next year and just put them all in this ring bound system. This is one of the old school tool binders from Office Depot, but you know, you've seen one of these disc bound systems, you've seen them all. So this is just one way to be able to get that like spiral feel where you're kind of like starting fresh each day and you can kind of just roll it over and just have them ready to go. So you're not having to like print them every day, and it functions like a kind of like a dated planner. Or of course you can just print out a bunch of sheets that are undated and just use them as you go. And then ultimately you have this beautiful artifact that, you know, you start here just like with planning your day. And then you're able to, you know, preserve that here with alongside your weekly memories and your seasonal living, and then like any cards or ephemera are just all in one place. All right, sisters, that is a wrap on our daily planning practice video. I hope this reinvigorated your just thoughts about how you plan your day. I hope that it gave you some fresh inspiration, and I can't wait to send these inserts home to you. When you check out, they are delivered to your inbox instantly, and you will get all of the beautiful seasonal versions to plan your days. So I wanted to give you a little housekeeping update. So many of you have been asking when there's going to be new stickers in the shop, new releases. I am working on it, but I definitely need your help. So it is a very capital intensive process to get production up and running. It requires hiring a couple roles, an illustrator and a layout artist, and then the actual investment for production. So I do all of production here in California. So being in the US and especially in California is an additional cost, but it's important to me that we are supporting the community that is here right around Paper and Glam. So any purchases in the shop, any memberships, all of that helps to get us closer to getting production up and running. So I am just taking steps as I am able and showing up here every week and hopefully adding value to your planning routines, to your memory keeping routines. And I just want to thank all of you who have been so supportive of the shop and have just been rooting for production and emailed me to say how much you missed it. I miss it too. And you know, whenever it's God's appointed time, I know that it's going to be back. I know that there'll be hot pink envelopes flowing with monthly planner kits eventually, because, you know, that's the task at hand. And of course, there's plenty of stickers in the shop right now. And in my memory keeping videos and the planning videos, I share like what is available in physical, what is available in digital, which everything is available in digital. So all of those investments that you make in Paper and Glam, in the shop and the membership, is what gets us closer to getting production up and running. So thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful to be co-creating all of these things with you, and thank you for just all of the encouragement and the investment, and I'll keep you updated. I am glamming as hard as I can, and I'll be here with you every Thursday with updates. And until then, thank you guys so much for being here with me, for believing in just this vision of creating holistic lives and memory keeping along the way. I so appreciate you. I love you, and I will see you next Thursday.